Well, today we're bringing you the people you want to hear the most react to this debate. We had Michael Goodwin earlier, and Ann Coulter's with us. You know, she's got a new book out. It's a big bestseller. It's called In Trump We Trust. It's her latest book. You should get it. It's really interesting. You go to AnnCoulter.com or Amazon. Ann Coulter, how you doing?
Fantastic. The media is hysterical.
Well, hey, let's start at the beginning. Let's go back to Friday. Now, what did you think when you heard this Billy Bush tape?
Well, you know, they've been using a battering ram against Trump for 15 months now. I mean, you have every single aspect of the establishment that he's trying to overturn, the political class, Hollywood, the entire media, including the, quote, conservative media, at least most of it. So at first I thought, well, okay, we know they have teams of interns at MSNBC going through every Howard Stern tape that Donald Trump was on. That takes a lot of time, Mark Simone. You can't fast forward through radio. You have to keep listening to see if Trump has called in at some point. 3 hours every day for, decades now. You have Access Hollywood apparently going through all their hot mic tapes. And I'd add that there is probably not a person who has ever been on a hot mic who hasn't said something embarrassing. I thought it was bad. I thought, okay, that they finally came up with something. The battering ram has gotten through, and it was bad because it was on tape. It is just words. I had to sit through, as I think you know, a few weeks ago, and listen to myself being called the C word 19 times, and that was just what they broadcast on that comedy.
Oh, that roast,
Central
yeah.
Roast. And I didn't hear a single liberal objecting to that. So then I started. So I thought, okay, they did it. We're not going to be able to save the country. This is it. All the powers that be. It's Trump against the world. And I was really depressed. And then
last night,
even before that, over the next 24 hours, the sanctimony and hypocrisy of our media that covered for John Edwards having a child with his pregnant mistress on a sick wife, and they covered for her. The LA Times sent out a memo, and that was only in 2008. We're not talking about, JFK and how they covered for him. LA Times editor sent out a memo instructing the writers not to cover it. Bill Clinton, of course, that's when I started writing with high crimes and misdemeanors, and for 1 year I had to hear everybody does it about a president of the United States having oral sex with a teenaged intern. Oh, everybody does. Credibly accused of rape by Juanita Broderick. And, of course, I thought back to the 11-year rule. Teddy Kennedy killed a girl, and 11 years later ran for president, not only without an apology, but as the conscience of the Democratic Party. And I noticed, just talking to people, that was really more of the reaction. In many ways, it was inuring to, it's not, it's on tape, it's not a good tape, but the media have played it over and over and over and over again. You start to become, numb to it, and it is just locker room potty talk. I would add that I am anticipating, I think I'm going to write about this week, MSNBC is taking casting calls for some loon to falsely accuse Trump of actually groping her or molesting her or something. Come on, give me a break. They've been after this for, again, 15 months. He has employed thousands of women, including lots of women on the TV shows, The Apprentice, the Miss Universe. He has never been credibly accused of sexual harassment, much less sexual assault. But they'll get some loon to come forward, like this Hispanic mattress girl, Elisa Machado, the long-suffering, fat-shamed Miss Universe, who will be lying, but she'll get the loon who comes forward. Maybe they'll get two. We'll have their moment in the sun. There is no disadvantage to coming forward and making a false allegation right now. And she'll be all over TV, interviewed sympathetically. Maybe she'll even get a cover on Vanity Fair, and then the press won't return her phone calls after November 8th. Yeah. And then the debate, which was so magnificent that the two principal responses of the media have been, number one, well, the loser in this debate was the nation, or saying it was a draw. It was a blowout. He was magnificent. I am so proud. And as you've always said, Trump is best when he's fighting, when he's down, and the media made the mistake of making him angry this week.
Yeah, and I think they really helped him in the debate. I don't know that he would have performed as well had Friday not happened. When you really, really, really back him into a corner, that's when he takes off like a rocket.
And boy, did he. That press conference, it was brilliant. The 2 hours before the debate, he calls up the press and says, I'm having a photo op, short press conference. So reporters show up, and there he is with Juanita Broderick, raped by Bill Clinton. And the one that I think is I mean, this is Hillary's Access Hollywood tape, except a lot worse. She defended the brutal child rapist of this girl at the time, 12-year-old Kathy Shelton. Brutal, horrible rape, left her infertile, ruined her life, and Hillary Clinton, we found out this is a tape that's in the Clinton library, though you haven't heard it like you've heard that Access Hollywood hot mic tape, of Hillary Clinton laughing about getting the child rapist off.
Yeah.
And she used a lot of sleazy methods to do so, accused this little girl of fantasizing it, and fiddling around with the blood evidence, laughing about it, knowing that the child rapist was guilty. She is on tape laughing about it. And so on the other side of Trump was that girl, now a woman, Kathy Shelton, as well as Paula Jones and Kathleen Willey, two other victims of Bill Clinton's sexual assaults, using his power of office, first as governor, then as president, to aggressively molest women. Aggressively. I mean, dropping his pants and saying, kiss it to Paula Jones. Kathleen Willey, though he didn't know this, was in desperate straits financially. At the moment that Clinton was molesting her in the Oval Office, her husband was committing suicide, and she's there to ask for a job. He brings her into the little kitchen that we know so well from the Star Report, and grabs her breasts and starts molesting her. He actually did what Lawrence O'Donnell and Rachel Maddow are all weeping and shocked over. Oh, and also, do not let this episode pass without noting that for the first time in history, the New York Times made the editorial decision not to put an asterisk in the F word and the P word in order to put them on their front cover. This is the entire, every power that is against Donald Trump. He has to be the candidate. He has to be his own media. He has to be his own Republican Party backing him. He has to be his own opposition research. It's him and the people against the world, and people, I think, are going to start asking, why is that? Why are both the Republican Party and the Democratic Party against Donald Trump? It is because of he will put Americans first, on immigration most of all. They do not want a wall. They do not want any slowdown in the breakneck pace of Muslim immigration to this country. They do not want to have trade deals that benefit Americans. No, the powerful in America don't care about steel workers, coal workers, Disney workers, Silicon Valley workers. They do better under huge international organizations. They do a lot better under that hedge fund manager loophole that only Trump will get rid of. And I think the media's hysteria over this tape. I think there may well be more. But
there'll be one every Friday for the next few weeks.
But I think everyone is just going to remind people at this point the absolute hypocrisy of the media.
Yeah, and I think what people want most is change, and I think he got across very well that she is not the agent of change that you need right now.
No, he was fantastic the way he kept pivoting back to the issues. That's what he wins on. And I know you're a heathen, but I'm a Christian. And
I'm a heathen.
I just thought I'd drop that in.
A little, but not that bad.
I am a genuine Christian, and look, it is a fact that many of the heroes of the Bible were horrible sinners. Look at Paul. And I think what Trump said in his video statement Friday night, I mean, one thing really struck me as completely sincere and genuine, and that was when he said this past year has changed him. And he's gone around and talked. I mean, he speaks practically, I would bet it would average out to a rally every other day with 10,000 people, 20,000 people, 30,000 people. He talked about all of the Americans he had met, the steel workers out of work, the women whose children who've been killed by illegal aliens. He's meeting with all of these black pastors. I saw on Twitter last night that he prayed and asked for forgiveness before the debate with Ben Carson. That changes a person. I think God has raised him up to save America, and whatever he did when he was an entertainer and a coarse vulgarian, he's not the same person now. But oh man, the media is the same as they've ever been, but worse.
Wow. Well, everybody get Ann Coulter's new book. It's the best book on Trump. It's called In Trump We Trust, and it's already a big bestseller. But you can go to AnnCoulter.com. You can get it there. You can get it at Amazon.
And by the way, you can now get very tasteful T-shirts, which I was tweeting out last night. I'll put it on my webpage. In Trump We Trust, E Pluribus Awesome.
Oh, okay. So go to AnnCoulter.com, and you can get all that stuff there. Ann Coulter, thanks for being with us.
Good to talk to you, Mark Simone.
All
Bye-bye.
right. Take care.